D-Day was 3 weeks ago. Since then, my husband has been furious, asking the same questions over and over, looking for inconsistencies in everything I say. He told me the day after D-Day that he was done with marriage counseling. Ironically, he was the one who suggested we go 3 months ago, after I told him I wasn't feeling the marriage anymore. I said I felt disconnected. I didn't say I'd been lying for half a year. I've been in individual counseling since D-Day, but I can't seem to slow my thoughts. My mind races with guilt and shame. My sleep is broken. I wake up at odd hours, heart pounding, hands shaking. I spend hours replaying every moment from the past year, trying to figure out how I let things get this far. My husband quit counseling even though we had 2 sessions left. He said he couldn't sit there listening to more excuses. Now he grills me at home, in the kitchen, at night, in the car. He'll ask me how many times I saw the other guy, where I went, what I said, how I felt. If my answers don't match exactly what he remembers from earlier conversations, he says I'm lying again. 3 months ago, I told him I wasn't happy. I said I needed something to feel alive. He agreed to marriage counseling, thinking it would help us reconnect. Meanwhile, I was in the middle of a 6-month affair. The affair partner quit his job out of nowhere. No warning, no explanation. He just disappeared and left me alone in the chaos I'd created. I couldn't eat, couldn't work, couldn't focus on my husband or our kids. I felt like I was drowning in my own head. My husband noticed something was wrong and kept asking questions. I couldn't tell him the truth. I blamed stress at work, kid issues, feeling undervalued. I turned everything back on him, said he wasn't listening, said he didn't care, said he was making me feel bad. He agreed to the counseling because he wanted to help. We went to 2 sessions before D-Day, and I nodded and told the therapist I was committed. I just didn't tell anyone I was already living a lie. Then one afternoon, out of the blue, my affair partner reached out to my husband. He spilled every detail: when we met, what we did, how often we met. Even that night I brought him to our house when my husband was at a conference. My husband ended marriage counseling immediately. He took my phone, set a new passcode, and reads every message that comes in. He removed my access to the joint accounts and told me to hand in my 2-week notice at work for the kids' sake. He said he needed me home, away from everyone who knew about me. So here I am, 3 weeks out, confined to the house, no work, no social life, no privacy. My kids are staying with his parents on weekends, and I talk to them on the phone twice a day under his watch. If I even suggest I might go out for coffee with a friend, he shuts me down. He says I don't deserve to see anyone after what I did. I loathe the way he looks at me, like I'm a stranger who broke into his life. I know I deserve that look, but it feels like a vice tightening around my chest every time our eyes meet. I'm in individual counseling, but progress is slow. I talk about feeling worthless, about the panic attacks, the guilt, the shame. I talk about nights when I've sat on the bathroom floor, knees to chest, crying until I can't feel my face. The counselor asks what I want next. I don't know. I want to understand why I betrayed him. I want to undo everything I've done. But I also feel empty, like a part of me left when the affair partner walked away. I can't make sense of why he told my husband. We weren't committed. He had no stake. He could have stayed silent. Let me clean up my own mess. But he chose to march into my husband's life and spill it all. I keep thinking if AP hadn't done that, maybe I could have found a way to pause and figure out whether I wanted to try to repair my marriage. Now it's too late. Everything is out in the open. Update 1. Confessions: I met AP through work connections. Our companies weren't the same, but our projects overlapped. I'd run into him at meetings. Before I knew it, we were texting outside office hours and hinting each other about our hidden desires. The first time he kissed me was in a hotel lobby elevator. After that, everything accelerated. We started meeting a few times a week. We'd choose conference hotels with gyms, take turns in the sauna, then go back to one of our rooms. Sometimes we met at his apartment. Sometimes I stole away during lunch, sat in my car with him in the passenger seat. One night when my husband was at a work conference, I invited AP to our house. It was horrifying and thrilling all at once. Our kids were sleeping in the next room. I told myself it was only for that night, that it would never happen again. AP was divorced, no kids, owned a house a few towns over. He liked power tools and CrossFit. He drove a pickup. He had a voice that felt like a weight pressing into my chest. He told me he understood me in ways my husband didn't, that my husband was too wrapped up in the kids and worked to notice I was slipping away. I believed it. But then, after 6 months, he quit his job. His phone went to voicemail. I texted, emailed, begged. He never responded. His phone was off for days. When it turned back on, he sent one line: "I'm done. Sorry." That broke me more than anything. I realized I'd built my escape on something as flimsy as smoke. My husband started asking why I was so down. I blamed insomnia, stress, workload. I kept saying I needed space, that I felt trapped. We went to 2 marriage counseling sessions, thinking we could fix this disconnect. I nodded when our counselor asked if I wanted to repair things. All the while, I was drowning inside my head because I'd no longer have AP in my life. After D-Day, when AP called my husband, everything blew up. I had no defense. My husband confiscated my phone and revoked my permissions at work. He said I had to quit for the kids' sake, that I needed to prove I was committed to fixing this. So I turned in my 2-week notice and sold my car. Now I'm here, waiting for what comes next, replaying every lie, every encounter, every excuse, trying to figure out who I am without AP and without a marriage. Final update: the divorce process has officially started. My husband took a month after D-Day to decide. I had to pack and leave. Our kids were sent off to his parents' place. I've uprooted their lives. I'm still in individual counseling, but we've moved past panic attacks and insomnia. We're talking about the why. My counselor asked me to draw a timeline of my life. I looked at a childhood marked by my father's absence. He cheated on my mother constantly, disappeared for days or weeks at a time, then reappeared apologizing. I never knew when I'd see him next. That pattern taught me that attention is conditional. If you want affection, you have to chase it. I've started writing letters to my younger self, telling that girl she deserves stability, that she didn't have to earn love by performing for it. I've reached out to a support group for adult children of narcissists and cheaters. I've apologized to friends I ghosted, and I'm rebuilding those connections slowly. A major part of me still wonders if my AP will call. I miss the thrill, and I can't believe that someone who wanted me so much would disappear without any prior notice. I know that's twisted, but it's real. My husband says every time he sees my face, he remembers that night I let AP into our house. He said forgiveness is one thing, trust is another. He's not convinced I won't do it again if I'm that unhappy. So divorce it is. There's relief in finality, but it's mixed with grief so heavy it's hard to breathe. I don't know what comes next. I'm learning to sit with silence, to let myself feel shame without acting on it. I'm working on understanding why I cheated and how to stop chasing hollow thrills. I'm trying to believe that I can rebuild trust in myself, even if I can't in someone else. This is how it ends for me. My husband refuses to put in any work to salvage our marriage. My AP walked away without looking back. My kids are safe with their grandparents and father, and I'll see them on weekends if the court agrees. Husband is going for 70-30 custody, and I'm sure he'll get it. If he wants something, he always gets it. That's how it's always been. I know he's going to twist every truth in every way to make me look bad for the court. I know I should be fighting him, but I just can't seem to summon any energy, nor money.